Hello there. China is currently producing fewer babies than it used to, and this is how that could affect you. In recent years, China has increasingly asserted itself as a force to be reckoned with across various sectors from tech to manufacturing and the military. Its large population has served as a source of strength, providing the economy with sufficient manpower. However, with a sudden decline in the Asian giant's birth rates post-COVID, experts believe that a lot could be changing soon, both inside and outside China. Background. For the past 70 years at least, China has held the undisputed title of the world's most populous country. Last year, however, the country recorded its first decline in population in around 60 years. According to the country's National Bureau of Statistics, China had 850,000 fewer people in 2022 than it did in the immediate past year. At the same time, the country's population is aging rather rapidly, with about 280 million people aged 60 years and above. Historically, the management of China's population has been a major and ever-present policy concern for the country's leaders. In the 1960s, the country boasted a population of over 800 million. However, in the face of economic difficulties, the Chinese government decided to officially put a cap on its population growth. Under what became known as the one-child policy, most Chinese people were permitted to have no more than one child. Exceptions apply in certain cases, such as rural farmers and for couples who did not have any siblings. Enforcement of the law was brutal, and several women were forced to undergo abortions to remove illegal babies. Fast forward to 2016, and the country's general birth rate begins to witness a significant drop. To curtail this trend, the government changes its laws, permitting parents to have 2 children. This number would be increased to 3 children 5 years later. At first, the new policy seemed to be working. 1 million more newborns were recorded in China in 2016 than in the previous year. However, the birth rate steadily fell in the years following this, and by 2019 it had plummeted to 14.6 million, representing a 58-year low. Why is China's population shrinking? The one-child policy may have ended 6 years ago, but in the policy's 43 years of existence, it left its permanent mark on China's socio-cultural life. One of these is a normative change in attitudes towards marriage and childbirth. Today, social antenatal attitudes run high in the country. Personal professional success has replaced marriage as a metric for success, especially for urban Chinese. For many, several children mean more stress and a greater economic strain. The possibility of suffering discrimination from employers have also made the prospect of childbirth less attractive. Employers in the country are been known to include no pregnancy clauses in their female employees' hiring contracts, providing that the women are expected to resign from their jobs if they ever get pregnant. Few mothers are willing to sacrifice their professional careers for childbearing. Some observers have noted that the removal of restrictions to childbirth has not been followed by the provision of sufficient maternal and childcare benefits to help mothers. Another unforeseen consequence of the one-child policy is the gender imbalance of the Chinese population. As male children were traditionally preferred to females, many Chinese parents opted to abort their female fetuses. This led to a significant decline in the number of females born in the country. In 2020, the country recorded 34 million more men than women. As a result, a large number of men have difficulties finding marriage partners. This is particularly so for men who are less wealthy and of lower social status. Internal consequences. For decades, China has prided itself on being labor self-sufficient, with its large workforce providing the necessary manpower for the country's needs. However, with a rapidly aging population and a shrinking labor force, this could be changing soon. Today, a fifth of the country's population is elderly. It is estimated that by 2050, 1 out of 4 Chinese people will retire. The government understands that this is cause for alarm. Nearby Japan experienced an economic decline in the 1990s, which was linked to its aging population along with other factors. The immediate result of this is a reduction in the number of entrepreneurs and professionals who drive the economy. The manufacturing and building industries, which are highly labor-intensive, stand to be impacted by this. There could be other, even more far-reaching consequences. Indeed, the political structure of the country, which is run on a single-party model, could be impacted. A smaller labor force means less taxes and a reduction in the government's capacity to provide material goods for its citizens. Some observers hold that popular attitudes towards the government may change if the government is unable to meet its social responsibilities. Moreover, more elders mean more people to care for, and a shrinking youth population means there are fewer people available to care for the aged. China needs a solution fast. Stringent COVID lockdown measures and a fall in the country's property market have put its economy under pressure. Last year, the country recorded an economic growth of only 3%, the lowest rate it has recorded in around 50 years. Global implications. COVID has proven how important China's economy is to the global supply chain, as pandemic restrictions on production brought about product shortages in various parts of the world. With labor shortages expected in China's manufacturing industry, China could lose its position as the world's factory. Furthermore, fewer workers may demand higher wages, leading to increased inflation in markets such as the US and Europe. Geopolitical consequences could also arise. China has long competed with the United States on the world stage. The country's rapid economic progress allowed it to build the strongest military in the Asian region and enter into long-running conflicts with Taiwan and in the South China Sea over territorial disputes. Sensing a threat, the United States has long spearheaded Western opposition to what has been viewed as China's imperialistic plans. The U.S. regularly conducts freedom of navigation operations, in which American warships routinely sail through waters that China claims to be part of its national territory in the South China Sea. If China's economic power declines along with its population, it would be interesting to see if China switches its international relations stance to a less confrontational strategy. If this happens, observers wonder if the United States would stop perceiving China as a threat. Moreover, China has embarked on ambitious economic projects both internally and on the international stage aimed, among others, at boosting the country's prestige and soft power. These include the Belt and Road Initiative, in which China plans to invest in infrastructural development in around 150 countries around the world, funding the construction of airports, bridges, dams, and roads. These projects might be slowed down or totally halted should the Chinese economy witness a significant decline. China's plan. The importance of solving China's population crisis is certainly not lost on its government. The country's president, Xi Jinping, in a recent address, stated his country's need to focus on improving the overall quality of the population and strive for an appropriate birth rate and population size. However, while China has historically relied on disincentives and punishments to enforce its population laws, the country has decided to take a different route this time. It plans to initiate programs to improve the country's birth rate by providing benefits for childcare and maternity. These incentives include cash payments made to families that produce several children. For example, a couple receives an allowance of 19,000 yuan, $2,744 on the birth of their third child. This allowance is continued until the child gets to the age of 3. Moreover, the country has also introduced elder care support policies such as tax reductions, monetary aid, and rent exceptions. Chinese businesses are already bracing for the impact of expected labor shortages. As the country has tight immigration laws, the possibility of importing manpower from abroad is limited. To solve this problem, China's companies are increasingly investing in artificial intelligence and robotics to fill the labor gap. A silver lining? China's birth rate decline is not all doom and gloom. Indeed, it is believed that this trend might lead to some positive outcomes. For example, the appearance of a large number of elderly persons has led to an increased demand for elder care facilities, equipment, and services. This has widened opportunities for the private sector to invest in elder care. Furthermore, a study in 2021 found that Chinese households with people aged 65 years or more had the lowest carbon footprint in the country. This suggests that the environment may benefit from China's aging population. Conclusion. Population remains a key factor affecting national development and the personal well-being of citizens in various countries of the world. China is the world's second largest economy, continues to play a crucial role in the global economy. The country's population decline is by no means peculiar to it. Several countries in the Asian giant's neighborhood, such as Japan and South Korea, are also witnessing similar trends. The US has been saved from population declines due to its relatively open immigration laws. It remains to be seen whether China's strategies to boost its birth rate succeeds. What do you think other countries can learn from the Chinese experience? Do you have any ideas on how China can turn its population crisis around? Please tell us in the comments section. Thank you for watching.